Hi, welcome to another How Not to Sound Foreign in English. I've been thinking about the word table today. In fact, not just the word table, but the word table that is inside other words, because we have a lot of words in English that particularly end in the word table. And the reason why I've been thinking about it is because I've noticed that a lot of people who are learning English, whose first language is not English, have a real problem with this pronunciation. And the reason why people have a problem with this pronunciation is because we don't pronounce the word table when it's at the end of another word the same as we pronounce table. And I'll give you an example of words that end in the word table, and you'll see how we don't pronounce them like table. So, for example, we've got suitable, portable, vegetable, countable, profitable, acceptable, comfortable, and vegetable. And you can see with all of those, with all of those words that we don't pronounce them table. We don't say comfortable. We don't say profitable. We don't say suitable. We don't say vegetable. We say able, not a or a, but a. And this brings us to a sound that I've made a video about before, which is actually the most common vowel sound in English. And it doesn't exist in a lot of languages. It doesn't exist in Polish. And the sound is This is not a, it's not it's not it's It's a short, unstressed sound. It's called the schwa sound. That's the name. It has a strange, wrong way round E symbol. But it's the most common vowel sound in English, and it's very hard for a lot of people who speak languages that don't have this sound. It's also very difficult to know when we use it because, as you can see, the same letter can sometimes have a different sound. So in the word table, the letter A has the sound A, table. But in the word vegetable, it has the not vegetable, not vegetable, but vegetable. And all of those, there's a lot of words. I actually checked. There are about 60 words in English which end in the word table. Most of them we don't pronounce table, we pronounce table. It's very important, I think, if you want to sound natural, to understand that all of those words that you might use we pronounce differently. I'll give you an example of some of the words. Some of them are quite useful. So, for example, some of the words we've got eatable, notable, potable. You know what potable means? That's an interesting word. A lot of students don't know this. Potable water is water that is drinkable. You can drink it. It's potable. I'll put a list of these words actually in the comments below, so you'll be able to see them. Voteable, adaptable, beatable, irritable. There are lots of them. I'm scrolling past them. I'm only telling you perhaps the more useful ones. Profitable, suitable, adaptable, charitable. What else have we got? Excitable, someone who gets excited easily. Irritable, someone who gets irritated easily. Palatable. Palatable is something that you can accept. It is connected with food. It's very palatable. It means the taste is acceptable, but it's also used for more abstract thing. Her behaviour was not palatable. It was not acceptable. Acceptable, of course, is another word with table at the end. Debatable, vegetable, of course. irritable, acceptable, adjustable, electable, disputable, inflatable. It's a useful word. Inflatable is something that can be filled with air, so you can get inflatable boats, of course. You can get inflatable chairs, cushions, all kinds of things that are inflatable. Predictable, repeatable, unbeatable, collectable, accountable. You get the idea. Inhabitable, regrettable. And there are two words, of course, which are used very much by teachers of English, because in English grammar we have nouns that are countable and uncountable. All right, as you can see, most of those words that end in table are not pronounced table, they're pronounced table. If you make sure that you can pronounce those words correctly, not only are those words quite useful because they are, common words that we use, but they're also examples of words that a lot of people get wrong. So if you get them right, your English will automatically sound much more natural than most other speakers of English, and also make it sound less foreign. Thanks.